see Drew Lock and the Denver Broncos versus Jordan Love and the New York Jets.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in the 2020 draft out of Utah State. This is Jordan Love.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Jordan Love ready on first down here. He'll get this to Eckler. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pick up there, 26 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. First carry for Austin Eckler, who's a Colorado native. The numbers for him from a week ago, 20 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop. Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Missouri Tiger Drew Lock will be at quarterback as he leads out the Denver Broncos.
Partner, do we still count this as the holiday season?
A little bit of a gray area, but I think you can.
Okay, well, we just passed it, right? Well, the gifts keep coming to our guy, don't they?
They do.
I mean, think about this now. Clinch the playoff spot, Offensive Player of the Week in Week 16. I think he's going to keep going. I think he's going to keep firing away. I don't think they pull back at all.
Yeah, and everybody for them rounding into form right now. Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Man, what the fuck?
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Here comes Hamler on the jet sweep. Just a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
They got no I formation or nothing. I'm just running off the wind, man.
On 2nd and 9. Lock.
Pocket
And he fires
pitch.
one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun. Love. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Now Aldrich Rosas for the field goal attempt. This from 54 yards away. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Distance was never an issue, not in this mile-high air. But it doesn't matter what elevation you're at if you don't put it on target. And this one kind of takes off on it.
So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose.
Lock on the keeper.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Now a carry for Dobbins. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 16 yards, a 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. KJ Hamler, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Throwing again. Lock. This is Hamler on the receiving end. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for him with Dobbins. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after one.
No score.
First and goal from just inside the 5. They'll run with Dobbins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. J.K. Dobbins. Touchdown number 18 on the year. As his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play. Just didn't have any points. So now, it's game on.
Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
And New York set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
3rd and inches.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And the ball comes out. Love lost it, but I think a Jet was able to recover, and they'll keep possession thanks to a heads-up play. Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
They'll take over.
You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Love from the gun. And able to find Grant complete. And the Jets are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
1st and goal, Jets.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Austin Eckler with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
At their own 25-yard line.
Drew Lock once again leads the Broncos out. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong colored jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision, right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talk about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at snapshots, now you look at the Microsoft Surface Pro. He's got to analyze what he's seeing and be more accurate with the ball.
Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaken up on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Shotgun snap to Lock. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards the pickup there.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Open man is Ross, complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 23 yards on the play. For that last pass CD, he just added another notch to the old belt. What a career it's been. He's over 35,000 career passing yards now.
And when you say that number, over 35,000 yards.
And throws another one. It's intercepted. Picked off by Amari Hooker. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Over the middle, complete. It's Phillips. And they will have a 1st down as they are definitely in field goal range now, down at the 20-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. That's into the hands of Eckler. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Well, we We see Drew Lock in the offense coming back on. And the first half was not kind to him, and he knows that. 3 interceptions, but still tied, so kind of a clean slate.
I'd say it's a reprieve because ordinarily you throw 3 interceptions, your team should be behind. So he has to be thinking to himself, okay, I'm off the hook for that one. I have to play better for my team here in the second half.
Second half starts with a run by Dobbins. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Oh, come on. Fucking ridiculous.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
To throw it is Lock. That's complete to his running back, J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
J.K. Dobbins.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
2nd and 12. Lock working out of the gun. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. Got a man. It's Judy complete. And he is into the end zone for the Denver touchdown. Jerry Judy, 73 yards. And the Broncos have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see them, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
3rd down and 5 yards to go.
To the air again, Love. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
That's the 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Third quarter action here, this regular season finale. This will be 2nd and 10. To throw again. Lock. That's going to be caught by Judy. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Lock now on first down. Open man Hamler, that's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Lock. That's complete, right around the 8. And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. J.K. Dobbins with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Broncos push further out in front. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
This will make it into the end zone. This will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
At the 28-yard line.
From the gun, Love. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. The Jets on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Out. It's 4th down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time here. Love on 4th down. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. K.J. Hamler, the intended receiver. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins, and they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
Trayvon Diggs getting the tackle.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball and continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. John Ross, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown.
Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's open like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will make it into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season, as this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 46. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
This defense is certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 21-yard.
They will throw again here with Jordan Love. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk it. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Rosas good with the extra point. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Broncos are going to get the football. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the 39, Locke rolling to his right. A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swing.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Locke going to throw it here. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. The 40, 30, the 20, 10, 5. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
No, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Jordan Love in this offense, ready to get the football back. The numbers tell the story. Not the best start, but it's not often how you start, it's how you finish. And since that start, he's been good.
Can you just imagine what was going on in the locker room with the defensive coordinator? Because things were working so well. His game plan was in effect. They were holding him down. He was off his game. But you just know that he was nervous at half.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And the Broncos are going to get the football. And now looking at the clock here, they do have timeouts, but even if they force a 3-and-out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll run the end around here with Judy. Down right around the 25. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
They're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw. Locke looking for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's Love. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
For T.J. Hawkins.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
2nd down and 10.
Now Love. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Phillips. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
To throw is Locke. Going deep downfield for Ross. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. But he will not be able to bring it back. My goodness, what a bizarre ending. The kind of decision that could get a quarterback released before he gets back to the locker room. But fortunately for him and his crew, the ball game is over. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost felt schoolyard or playground, didn't it? Yeah, you remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find someone open. They gave it a shot, but unable to successfully complete it.
So for the Broncos, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they go out with a bit of a whimper as they wrap up a very trying 3-13 season. And this front office will have plenty of work to do in the draft and through free agency to turn this ship around. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin.